Hello everyone, my name is Jeremy Sparks. It's good to be with you here today. We've all come to notice public speaking has a lot of different skills that we need to learn in order to be able to present a message effectively. I'm here today to talk about analyzing the audience sociologically. Sociology is defined as the scientific study of the human race. So in public speaking terms, it's important for us to know our audience, know who we're speaking to, their interests, their beliefs, and that sort of thing. So I'm here to present 6 different areas which affect the way that we present our message. Those 6 areas include age, gender, affectional orientation, educational and intellectual levels, religion, and cultural factors. Different audiences hear things differently, so that's one thing that we need to understand. First area that I want to talk about today is age. Different age groups have different interests. For example, high school kids and elderly folks don't have the same interests, so it's important to understand who you're talking to age-wise in order to be able to present an effective message to them. Different age groups process things differently. Younger folks tend to like things more fast-paced, whereas elderly folks seem to like things a little more slow-paced. So it's important to understand the age of your audience in order to present that message that you're trying to get across effectively. Secondly, the second area that I want to talk about is gender. This has 2 different parts: biological roles and psychological roles. The biological roles is obviously the male and female. Is your audience predominantly male or predominantly female? This could affect the way that you present your message, affect the way that you word your message. And then the psychological roles, masculine and feminine, is obviously it's easy to think that an all-male group is going to be more masculine and an all-female group is going to be more feminine, but that's not always the case. So it's important for us to avoid stereotyping in this area. Not all men are always masculine and not all women are always feminine, so remember that. Third area that I want to talk about is affectional orientation. Heterosexual or homosexual is your group predominantly one or the other. This could affect the way that you present your message. It could affect the topic in which you are trying to present, and it's important to understand this. It's important to understand that different topics are controversial to different affectional orientation groups. So know your audience's affectional orientation and don't stereotype, because not all heterosexual and homosexual people have different beliefs on certain topics. You'll be surprised to know that a lot of homosexual and heterosexual people have the same beliefs on certain topics, so don't stereotype. Next area that I want to talk about is educational and intellectual levels. Different educational levels interpret things differently. For example, high school students are going to interpret things differently than, say, a group of master's level business professionals. So know your audience's educational level. Second thing that's important here is that your credibility depends on the educational level of your audience. If your research and your statistics need to fit the educational level of the audience that you're speaking to, because remember that your entire credibility depends on the educational level of the audience. The next area that I want to talk about is religion. Different religions see things differently. That's just the way it is. That's just the truth. Everyone interprets things out of their own worldview. For example, Christians and Muslims are going to see things differently. They're going to interpret your message out of their belief system, the religion that they practice. So it's important to know the audience's religion if that's possible. But maybe just think about it as you're wording your messages and as you're preparing to present your message, how this could come across to different religions. The last area that I want to talk about is cultural factors. Different cultures have different values, interests, and goals. Different cultures have different expectations of the speaker. For example, some cultures would love to hear the speaker just be blunt, direct, and to the point, and other cultures would find that very offensive. So it's important to understand the culture. All in all, today it's important for us to understand that different audiences hear things differently. If we take all these 6 areas into consideration: age, gender, affectional orientation, educational and intellectual levels, religion, and cultural factors, we will be able to present a more effective message to the audience.